There's a first time for everything, and this week KG and I are diving headfirst into a different way of treasure hunting. We'll be underwater and under pressure to outdo each other as we search for lost jewels, coins, and other shiny stuff in the surf. We'll be visiting old swimming holes and beaches where people have dropped valuables into the waves along the shorelines for years, only to be swallowed up by the sands of time. It's our very first dive detecting trip, and we can't wait to see what's waiting for us at the bottom of the deep blue abyss. I guess we're all about to find out on this week's special underwater episode of Digging with KG and Ringy.
With KG and Ringy.
Look at that. KG and I are on the way to Canada. We've been here before, but this time we're especially pumped up, eh? We've got some really cool sites lined up, and we can't wait to get started. It's our dive detecting debut, and we can't wait to get our feet wet. When you think of treasure in water, you can't help but think of pirates, shipwrecks, and chests full of gold coins. Seas around the world are full of thousands upon thousands of shipwrecks, from small fishing boats to colossal cruisers like the Titanic. Florida alone is littered with countless shipwrecks, including some vessels from the 1715 Spanish fleet that contain millions of dollars in gold and silver coins and bullion. It's the stuff of dreams. And just like on land, you never know what the next signal's gonna reveal. We're up here in Canada with our friend Steve and Ryan. These guys are master treasure hunters and dive detectorists. I know we're in good hands because they've been at this for years and have found piles of gold and silver jewelry. These guys definitely know what they're doing, and they're gonna show us exactly how it's done. It's taken months of planning and scheduling, including full-fledged scuba training and certification for KG and me. So we're excited to get geared up and make this happen. We'll be diving in freshwater all week near Buffalo, New York, where Canada borders the US, and on some private beaches where they've secured permissions. Keep in mind that every shoreline has its own rules and restrictions, and that some areas are claimed just like there are gold claims on land. So before you wander out to sea looking for Blackbeard's treasure chest, be sure you're not on another man's claim or causing any kind of harm to delicate coral reefs.
Oh my.
The boat's all loaded and we're geared up, so we head out to make our first dive. You know, we're out here, our first time dive detecting with the two masters of dive detecting. What kind of advice you got for us?
First of all, you're going to want to stick together. You don't want to lose each other out there. We need you both to come back.
All right.
But this is an old swimming hole that goes way back. There's a lot of stuff out there. You're going to be sure to find some good stuff.
Awesome. All right. Are we ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
We'll find some gold.
At first, it's weird being underwater and seeing the ghost-like shadows of the other divers on the edge of visibility, but after a while, it's pretty calming. We start moving along the sandy floor, and almost immediately our detectors start going off. Right away, I realize this is not going to be as easy as I thought. Just like on land, there's a ton of garbage under the surface, and we're hearing it loud and clear. We're pulling up all kinds of flip tops, rusty nails, jagged can lids, metal spikes, and we collect as much as we can in our trash pouches. Metal detecting groups perform an important public service by cleaning up the environment on land, but I see it as even more important here on the beach and under the surf where people are roaming around barefoot. Once we settle in, KG and I both start hearing the sweet sound of underwater nectar. It sounds a little funny with ears full of water, but basically the same tones. I swim to a lower dip in the sand, and right away the detector fires back a great signal. Look at this. This is so cool. I can't believe my eyes. KG and I are exploring a whole new world of underwater treasure hunting. We're combing the sands for lost treasures and loving it. We just started, and it doesn't take long before I get my first solid underwater signal. This is so cool. It's a coin. It's a 1944 Canadian penny. That's a great sign because that means we have the potential to find silver down here. Potential for silver, baby. I look over and see KG has already scored a couple of copper coins too. A Wheatie and a Canadian penny like mine. We're excited to see those first coins materialize out of handfuls of sand, and in no time, the floodgates open up a steady flow of coinage and other underwater nectar. This is incredible. There's pennies everywhere. We're finding them by the fistfuls. It's a feeding frenzy of copper coinage. It's totally awesome. It's definitely trashy, but we're used to hunting trashy sites on land, so we let our detectors discriminate out all the junk so we can focus on the good stuff. This is exactly what we hoped for. They might not be ancient, but we're pulling up some really cool coins. There are tons of pennies buried in the sand, a lot of them from the World War II era, but there are a few older ones here too. After landing a few Wheaties and their Canadian equivalents, I hit what I think is just another penny to add to the pile, but no, this is amazing. It's an Indian head penny from 1903. If this baby was on land, it would have a dark brown patina from the soil, but underwater, the shifting sands have polished it to a coppery shine. Incredible. Indian head pennies were made from 1859 to 1909. They are cool little works of art. I can't believe how fun this is. I'm doing great, and so is KG. He's got himself a Canadian large cent and an 1887 Indian head penny. I know there has to be silver here somewhere. The United States quit making large cents after 1857, but Canada kept right on going up to 1920. KG has the first one from the 20th century, 1900 exactly. Weird little tick of a sound, but I'm glad I investigated this one. Cool little butterfly pin. Looks like it had some fancy enamel inlay at one time. This is awesome. I love finding weird little stuff like this. Man, look at that. That is an eagle button for sure. Eagle button for KG. This looks like it's got that old dome top style. Definitely military. Could be Civil War age even. We're talking Mill, Civ, 1800s. Awesome find for the king. We can tell we're in an old swimming area just by the number of bobby pins and old brass swimsuit buckles we're finding. Apparently skinny dipping is nothing new to this area. Oh man, look at this one. It's a big coin. I live for big coins. Bigger than a quarter, I think. Awesomeness. Looks like a large cent at first, but it turns out to be a presidential token with Herbert Hoover on it. It sounded awesome, and it's solid copper or brass, so it has to be from that same era as all these other 30s and 40s coins we're finding. This is a cool find for me, because Hoover was the only president from my home state of Iowa. He was born just a few years before me, in 1874. I love finding weird stuff like this. I am now officially in the zone. Round this in the glove. To save time, we start dropping the coins into our gloves so we can keep searching without fumbling around for our zip pouches. By the time we burn up a tank, our gloves are bulging with treasure.
It's hard swimming with no fins. It's a lot of work down there. You're fanning, you're padding, you're digging.
I went down, I got a hit with the new ATMAX. Out pops this awesome Indian head penny. And I just can't believe it. I don't even know what to say. This is the most awesome thing ever. Look at this. I got a whole handful of coins right here. Look at this. Here's a Canadian penny from 1920. That's the very first one they ever made.
That's an awesome
From the
Indian head.
Yeah, I got that Indian head. I got this jewelry, and look at this. A big token came out with all that writing on it.
I found one pocket down there, and there was this coin just pouring out of it.
Crushed it. Oh, look at that. Tons of weeds. KG got a whole pocket full of them. How awesome is that?
Is that silver?
Let me see it. 2007.
That military button. Perfect. Look at that thing.
That thing is awesome looking.
Hey, this was incredible. I mean, look at this. First diving trip, we're killing it. We still have a couple more days here.
Heck yeah. First day, we've already got awesomeness in the hand right here. And we're going to be going back down under the water very soon again.
So let's go get some food and a cold beverage.
Oh, I'm so ready.
After a quick snack, we strap on fresh tanks and dive back into the surf. In no time, KG is on to a good one. Oh man, look at that! KG and I are dive detecting in fresh water near the Canadian border, and we're having a blast. It's a whole new world of treasure hunting excitement. Some of these beaches have been populated for over 100 years, so even though some of the areas are man-made or have been built up and maintained with layers of new sand, the water causes continuous shifts that can expose long-lost treasure over time.
This place actually dates back to the 1800s. I mean, this was a massive tourist attraction, and it still is today.
We're on a new tank of air, and it looks like KG just found something pretty good. Oh man, look at that! A cool copper ring. Nice find. It's smashed, but it's still pretty cool. Another ring for the KG. That makes me happy and jealous at the same time. My brain is very confused. All this talk of treasure is great, but once I'm down in the watery shadows, I start thinking about sea monsters and stuff. What if we get attacked by a giant kraken-like killer squid with a voracious appetite for human flesh? I tried to warn KG of the dangers of what I feel is an imminent squid attack to the face, but I'm not sure he understands the importance of what I'm attempting to communicate. He chooses to ignore the gift of knowledge from me and resumes treasure hunting almost immediately. Oh well, I tried to tell him. Eventually, I refocused my efforts on finding coins in the sand near an old broken-down pier, comforted by the thought that if I survive the impending battle with the man-eating squid, I'll have a chance at spotting a mermaid in the rocky area just beyond the weeds. How great would that be? With no mermaids in sight, I decide to change direction and follow an edge where the sand meets some plant-covered rocks, and that's when I see it. Awesomeness right on the surface, baby. Like KG always says, you gotta use your eyeballs. Incredibly, I've been hunting for one of these beauties for years. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd ever find one, let alone complete and underwater. Most people don't even know that some Coke bottles were made out of amber-colored glass for a short time in the very early 1900s. These are very rare and highly collectible to bottle collectors as well as Coca-Cola memorabilia collectors.
This is special to me. I love it. Ringy gets his first brown Coke bottle.
Like most detectorists, I complain a lot about litter bugs, but I have to make an exception here. Whoever whipped this off the dock 80 years ago, Ringy says thanks. Just goes to show that one man's trash is indeed another man's treasure. Jackpot for Ringy. KG and I are hunkered down in a sand pocket about 10 feet down that is producing multiple coins. This is so great. We brush at the sand, and coins are just sliding out into view. KG's got a silver quarter. It's Canadian silver.
More roundness in the glove for KG.
Look at this. Designer sunglasses. Don't really need them at this depth, but what can I say? I'm a slave to fashion. Man, it's a burden being this good looking. I swim up on a green weedy patch and get a decent signal. It's a bit deeper here and darker, and as I grab for my pinpointer and locate the target, a fish comes at me from out of the shadows. He circles around a couple of times and then charges me directly. I'm thinking it's probably a deadly poisonous venom fish of some kind that lives here protecting the buried treasure. But I can't leave without the juice, so I keep him at bay with my detector. Another coin! This one's silver, baby! My first aqua silv. I finally get the treasure secured and I manage to escape the fury of the venom fish unscathed. We're running low on air again, so it's time to swap out our tanks. Then it's back to the bottom for more searching. Look at this! I can't believe it! This is so awesome! KG and I are exploring the sand bed along the underwater ruins of an old rock pier. We've logged about 6 hours of dive time the past couple of days, and we're burning up our last tank of air. Neither one of us wants to surface and call it quits, so we're hoping for a few more good signals. After stashing away another weedy, I'm still hearing something odd. Doesn't sound like a coin, but it's just enough tone to make me investigate. And it was definitely the right decision. How great is this? A gold chain in the depths. My first aqua chain. By the markings, it's obviously new, but whether it's from a 1715 sunken ship or dropped yesterday on the beach, gold is gold, baby. G in the glove for Ringy. Not to be outdone, KG checks his gauge to make sure he's got enough air and drops back down to locate a signal. I look up and see KG is totally flipping out. I know this can't be good news for me. I swim over to take a closer look, expecting to see a big coin or something, but when he shows me an awesome shiny gold ring, I know I'm in big trouble. I'm happy for him, but I'm green with envy and seaweed. Not only is it 14 karat gold, but it's a beautiful one-of-a-kind signet ring with old-time script initials engraved into it. That is some serious awesomeness.
They're all coins.
What a great week! To find the treasure, you have to get a oot in a boot. Beauty way to go, eh? We found hundreds of coins and other trinkets. Look at all this stuff. Boat keys, silver nickels, dimes, quarters, a buffalo nick, a knife, some bullet casings, a cufflink, a toy pistol key fob, and more. No mermaids, though. No merms in the pock. Just because we've been underwater all week and having a blast, it doesn't mean somebody won't have to suffer some kind of humiliation and degradation. It's time to pick a winner, and we're gonna let Ryan decide our fate.
Oh, look at this. Woo! 2 rings, baby. Hey, Ryan, thanks for having us down. We're out there. We did awesome. I'm thinking I did better than Ringy.
We want you to look at all this stuff, and it doesn't matter if it's valuable or not, whatever. Whatever you think is the coolest find of the day, we just want you to pick one thing, but it can only be one thing.
Just one.
But here, I'm going to show you what I found real quick. I found a couple of weird ship keys, probably from Blackbeard's dive log cabinet, and then a little butterfly pin, a 1903 Indian head penny, some crazy Herbert Hoover token, super rare Coke bottle. Amber Coke bottles are not common. And to top it off, I got a gold necklace, KG, G in the pot for ringing.
Put down that minute specimen and I'll show you gold. All right, Ryan, my pile's 4 times bigger than Ringy's. I got Indian head pennies, I got multiple silver, Canadian large cents, 2 rings, pocket knife. If I could get it open, I'd stab Ringy with it. but look at this. This is the find of the day.
Well, you guys guys have found some great stuff here. Like, you've got stuff from the last 100 years. There's so many good items here. I don't even know what to pick, but of all the things, I think I'm gonna have to go with the ring.
Yeah!
It's not because it's gold, but I think it really tells a story. It's got the initials on there, and it truly is one of a kind.
It's pretty awesome, Paige. Good job, buddy.
Yeah. You know what, Ringy? I am the winner of the water hunt this week. You know what? It's a long way back to the hut where we're staying, and I don't want to carry all my gear. I'm thinking you can carry your gear and my gear all the way back for punishment for not being a good finder. So, come on, you get packed.
I can't believe I lost to a ring of all things. I'm supposed to be the ringmaster.
Forget me.
I hate you guys. Don't drop my stuff.
But today it looks like I'm carry all the heavy equipment down the beach by myself guy. Sad and pathetic. Well, at least I didn't get eaten by the giant squid. This was a week we'll never forget. We reunited with some detecting buddies and made some great new friends as well.
My pants are hot. My pants are real hot right now.
This is so cool. We found silver, gold, jewelry, and more. Join us again next time for more history and amazing adventures on Digging with KG and Ringy.